Who doesn't like Squid Game, right? I mean, unless you prefer Alice in Borderland, As the Gods Will, The Hunger Games, or a bunch of other movies that, in my opinion, totally outshine this one. But we can't say Squid Game isn't good. It's still very engaging with its game designs and plot that keeps viewers hooked. And yeah, hot guys and gals. But that's what really caught my attention about the show is I got more intrigued by the mysterious metaphors within the series. Yeah, and could it be that Squid Game is not just a simple game, but actually some sort of cult? Sounds wild, right? Even though it's a mainstream entertainment film, Squid Game scenes are deeply imbued with religious tones. How exactly? Welcome back, dreamers, to the Theory Hub, where we discuss things that probably won't happen. But hey, at least it's fun, right? That's all for the intro. I'm Lander, and today let's dive into, is Squid Game a religion? Let's find out right now. First, let's take a closer look at the Squid Game logo. It's not just some random triangles, circles, and squares. This logo packs more layers of meaning than you might think. Let's break down each shape. The circle has long been a symbol of the divine, Christ, and saints in Christianity. And in Buddhism, it represents the Dharma wheel, leading people towards enlightenment. A circle also symbolizes the cycle of life, with creatures on Earth being born and dying in a never-ending loop. The characters in the show represent this circle of life too. They trample and crush each other to survive. The strong devour the weak, only to be eaten by someone stronger. The class divisions in the show are clear, from the powerful alphas to the oppressed, weaker characters. Circles also pop up throughout the show as marbles. In the marble game, players passing marbles to each other symbolizes many things. Old Man 001 acts like a god, giving the protagonist a marble, symbolizing giving him a halo and strength to continue. A circle also represents happiness and joy. People use circles and curves in design to convey humor and playfulness. This suggests that no matter how brutal or immoral, to outsiders, this is just a game. And all deaths are merely part of the game, which should be fun. So circles are used throughout the Squid Game. At least it's fun for those higher beings looking down. The square represents rules and laws. Squares, rectangles, and other boxy shapes signify rigidity and conformity. In religion, commandments and laws are crucial and mandatory. God's commandments guide people towards good and away from evil. Laws in religion are essential for believers to maintain their faith. In design, squares create a sense of confinement, like an invisible prison, a person trapped in a box. This is similar to the situation of Squid Game players, trapped in a closed space, or even within the confines of their society. The triangle represents the Trinity or the Holy Trinity. The 3 points of the triangle represent the 3 aspects of God: the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The triangle also represents the triple gem in Buddhism: the body, the mind, and the intellect. The triangular dinner table before the final game. The 3 characters represent the triple gem. Sang-woo represents the intellect, using countless dirty tricks, deceiving friends and brothers, harming others for survival and money. Many viewers might think Sang-woo didn't start evil but became so throughout the game. But the truth is, he showed his dark side from the first game, when he realized the honeycomb game and tricked the protagonist into choosing the umbrella shape to reduce competition. Sang-woo's cunning and sinister nature was evident from the start. However, through his initial help to Ali, we still see a tiny glimmer of goodness in this character. Next, let's talk about the protagonist, who represents the soul. Throughout the movie, we see his psychological struggles. He always has doubts, mental conflicts, and thoughts about benefits and morality. Unlike his younger brother Sang-woo, who abandoned all morals for benefits and survival, Gi-hun remains entangled in his soul, trying to find the right path. The whole movie depicts his soul's turmoil and deciding whether to be good or bad, 2 concepts that are quite relative. Let's go back to the moment of choosing the door in the honeycomb game. Gi-hun couldn't choose the right door for himself and had to let Sang-woo choose. This symbolizes how intellect as Sang-woo dominated the soul, Gi-hun. And the result was Gi-hun nearly lost his life. Perhaps this suggests the need to balance the soul and intellect. Letting one side dominate too much leads to unpredictable outcomes. And the final character is the girl from North Korea, Se Byok. She represents the body in the triple gem. Sae-byuk reflects a painful aspect of society. She's a woman, and the first thing people think of a woman in society is perhaps her body. Coming from North Korea to South Korea and unable to return home, her body is tormented by society in many ways. Most clearly when she is cheated out of her escape money by gangsters. In the final dinner scene, we see Sae-byuk's body reaching its limit. The shard of glass in her stomach, untreated, has left her body exhausted and weak, and eventually, she is killed by Sang-woo without resistance. The three characters representing the triple gem now symbolize a person on the brink of life and death. The body is exhausted and deteriorating. The intellect clings to a purpose for living, while the soul remains filled with regret and guilt. The first time all three characters, Gi-hun, Sang-woo, and Sae-byuk were on the same team was in the tug-of-war game. This game represents the unification of body, soul, and intellect, along with the divine support of Old Man 001. When the body, soul, and intellect unite, it opens up many possibilities, allowing people to achieve extraordinary things. And indeed, Gi-hun's team won the tug-of-war, despite the opposing team being much stronger. Another detail illustrating the abstract meanings of geometry is the design of the guards. The guard groups are divided based on the shapes on their mask. The more sides a shape has, the higher the rank. Guards with circular masks are the lowest ranked. Those with triangular masks are higher. Square masks represent higher ranks, equivalent to commanders. And above all is the Black Mask character with countless angles. The Black Mask character, who is also the brother of police officer Jun-ho, has a special significance. He is like Gi-hun, a previous Squid Game winner, but chose a completely different path from Gi-hun. This character is like a lost soul who finds doctrine and returns to the right path, eventually becoming a preacher or a pope. Additionally, we can talk about Old Man 001. As we all know, he is the creator of Squid Game and is considered the god of this game. However, not all gods are good. This game is more like a torment of humanity, resembling hell more than nirvana. So the god that 001 represents is not God, Buddha, or Jesus, but the god of hell, Satan. His appearance also says a lot. Satan was originally an angel. So in the early part of the movie, the old man's appearance is very gentle and likable. However, at the end of the movie, when lying on the hospital bed and revealing his satanic identity, his appearance becomes more sinister and despicable. The game he created also follows the legend of how God created all things in 6 days. On the first day, God separated light and darkness. This corresponds to the first game, where players are divided into two opposing groups, one of light wanting to stop the game and return, the other of darkness driven by money, wanting to take others' lives for money. On the second day, God created the sky. The sky is symbolized by the umbrella shape that Gi-hun had to carve in the second honeycomb game. On the third day, God created land and sea. The tug-of-war game in the air symbolizes humans fighting for life against natural disasters. The standing positions of the two tug-of-war teams are like small land masses, and the losing team is pushed down below, symbolizing the sea. As mentioned above, in this tug-of-war game, body, intellect, and soul unified with the divine support, allowing people to perform miracles, specifically defeating the sea. On the fourth day, God created the stars. The marbles that characters must exchange in this game symbolize the stars in the sky. Characters fighting for each other's marbles symbolize the human desire to conquer the stars in the sky. On the fifth day, God created animals. Does the glass bridge game relate to animals? No, the game doesn't. But what we're talking about here are the spectators. The VIPs of the game come to watch the fifth game directly, wearing animal masks. Not just masks, their perverse entertainment makes them no different from beasts. On the sixth day, God created humans. This part is exactly what we talked about earlier. Humans are represented by the final three characters, Gi-hun, Sang-woo, and Sae-byuk. All three represent the three elements that make up a human: body, soul, and intellect. On the seventh day, God rested. The scene representing God's rest is when Old Man 001 lies in the hospital bed, looking down and thanking Gi-hun for reminding him of his childhood. His lying in a hospital room above, looking down, is like how God looks down on what he created. Additionally, in this scene, the old man wants to bet with Gi-hun. He bets with Gi-hun on human kindness. If he wins, Gi-hun will lose faith in humanity. This bet is like a wager between humans and Satan. If they lose, humans will lose what they value most: their humanity. Overall, and when we look at Squid Game, we see a whole religious tapestry woven into it. In the upcoming season 2, we have every right to expect some juicy secrets behind the organization, that created Squid Game, not just the old man 001. Could this be an evil cult using human lives as sacrifices through these games? Or is it a ritual to harvest human greed to worship some dark entity? It's hard to predict what will happen next season, but my viewers are full of wild guesses, right? Comment below with your thoughts on the video or your predictions for Squid Game Season 2, so we can discuss together. This is Lander from the Theory Hub, wishing you all a great day.